Hey, sit down, kid. I'm gonna make you an offer you cannot refuse. Have you ever wondered why some of your negotiations just seem to fall flat when other people seem to be quite influential and be able to negotiate like a master? Well, there's a few reasons for that. Number one is your ability to negotiate, your sales skills, whether it's in sales or not sales. And secondly, it's the offer itself. It's not irresistible enough. Even if you're really bad at sales and negotiating, I'm going to show you how to craft an irresistible offer that practically sells itself. An offer that they cannot refuse. And I'll also give you a downloadable blueprint as well, so you can start to just use that blueprint to accelerate your success so you can land higher paying clients or a higher paying job in your career. I'm Dr. Lewis Haydon, coach to very high income earners. Let's get started. So step one in creating any irresistible offer is that you need to understand what does irresistible mean to them. So you have to figure out where do they want to be. What does that mean? Well, like anything, anybody that buys something, a transaction of anything, they've had to earn that money in their life. For them to actually give you money, it's got to actually get them a product or service that steps them further forward. Think about this, your service or product is something that helps them get to where they want to be. So if they are here now at destination A and they want to get to destination B, the value of how much you can sell your product or service or offer depends on how much of a problem you solve for them. So if they're going from place A to place B, the bridge that you start to form to get them there is how much you can actually charge. If it's not a big problem for them, guess what? They're not going to pay you as much as they would if it was solving a bigger problem for them. Humans aren't generic. Everybody has their own goals, they have their own visions, they have their own things that they want to overcome. So your first step needs to be asking great questions to figure out what that looks like. For example, if you was to go and speak to a CEO and sell them a product into a company, then you may be thinking that this product or service is going to make them more money. However, the CEO may be thinking, well, more money isn't actually what I want. What I actually want is more time with my family. So they're thinking more time, you're thinking more money. Now, without asking great questions, you'll never really understand. There's no way to do it. You're not a mind reader. So why not incorporate into your MAFIA offer? A MAFIA offer, by the way, is the irresistible offer that they cannot refuse. Craft your irresistible offer so it includes their end goal first. So many times I see people, I train salespeople, I hire great salespeople, not even that, great leaders. It doesn't have to be in sales, it could be in anything. If they go in there and just talk about their product or service, they're talking about themselves. They're talking about how great they think it is, not the customer's model of the world. And by the way, these negotiations isn't just for customers. This is also how you speak to your boss for a promotion. They can be, smaller things, going up to like $1 million projects, 2 million, 10 million projects. The bigger the number, the bigger the problem that you're solving for somebody or a company. So a pro tip to this is asking open-ended questions. If you want to learn more about open-ended questions, it's actually in my ebook. It's called Socratic Questioning. You can go and get the model for that. The link is in the description. So step two is, now you understand where they want to be, you need to create that bridge. So this is your solution. You need to craft that solution in terms of their world, not your world. Really understanding what expertise do you have, where do they want to get to, and how can you combine the two together to actually come up with that bridge or solution. An example of this could be that you are a consultant and you might be wanting to prioritize their goals. Okay, so if you don't understand where they want to get to, then how do you know that the thing you're going to go and consult on is the right thing? You're going to have a hard time in the sales process. You'll have a hard time then marketing to the ones in the future as well, people like them. And you'll have a very hard time of actually, even if you do get them as a client, delivering, because it'll be your way and not their way. Understand? What about if it was an example in a career, for you entrepreneurs that are watching, somebody who's an executive or an employee of a company that can make a lot of money. That's the definition of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur could say, hey, look, boss, I know that you want to get here. These are my skills. I don't feel like I'm getting used to my full potential right now. How about we start to take some steps forward and start to craft that bridge This is what I have as a solution to get there. Now, don't just go in and say that straight away. Make sure you move on to step 3 because it will show you how to do that more effectively. Let's get stuck into that. So step 3, before you just go out there and present your solution, there is a way of doing it as well. Don't just give everything away, okay? That's the problem, is people just go out there and you haven't actually negotiated. All you've done so far in step 1 and 2 is talk about their goals. This is an offer that they cannot refuse, okay? It needs to be something that makes it a win for you. So step 3 is that we talk about how to craft a win-win agreement. Now, you have to have this win-win agreement on the table when you start, because if you start to do it later on, you change the goalposts. You're playing the game and you're agreeing on the game before the offer, before the negotiation, before the deal is done. So never change the fucking goalposts. You need to make sure that that win-win agreement, this is where I'm going to get you to, this is where I'm going to get myself to, what's in it for me, what's in it for you. And if we don't get there, we can then call it and say, if we're ever in a lose-lose, we just go to no deal and figure out that we just weren't right for each other. So the win-win is making sure that you benefit, making sure that they benefit, because the last thing you want to do is get them to win and you be losing. And a lot of people do this. Ever heard of buyer's remorse? You've sold them that well and your skills are so good at selling that that customer actually walks away thinking, I've just been sold to. You're in the win, they're in the lose, or the salesperson's in the win, they're in the lose. Always make it really clear what that win-win looks like and almost put some little rules in play of how it's going to pan out. You've got to prove it that this win-win agreement is possible and that you can actually show the steps of the path, the steps of the dance. Prove it to them that you are serious about getting them to win. You're serious about making it a win for you as well. And you'll be taken a lot more serious in business and life. Pro tip for step 3 is make it personal. Say something like, when you win, I win. My goal is to achieve 100K plus a year. In doing that, I need to help you make a lot more money so that you can pay me 100K per year. Does that sound fair enough? Right. Here's what we're going to do. And if I don't prove it within the next 3 months that I'm on track to that 100K per year and helping you make a lot more money or save a lot more time or get you into new markets, you see what I mean? There's so many different negotiations, and this can go for whether you're a consultant, you're selling to somebody, whether you're selling to your boss for a promotion, whatever it is, you can use this. So step 4 is the MAFIA offer, the offer that you cannot refuse. I'm not doing the thing again from the start. My mouth is still full of cotton wool from fucking doing that. If you like that scene at the start, by the way, click a like button, because yeah, it was disgusting. Right, let's craft that MAFIA offer. We are going to double down and make this a bulletproof thing that they cannot refuse. How do you do that? Is you make it so irresistible, it doesn't seem real. But because you've put the steps of the dance in place with that win-win agreement in step 3, step 4 makes it sound a lot more real, because they can see what's in it for you and you can see what's in it for them. It just makes fucking sense to move forward. You can get the template for this, and there's lots of examples and wording that you can use, but it's going to create something that removes any objections from them. So in sales, they would call this objection handling. Now, I don't like objection handling. I like to handle the objection before it even comes up. I call it objection positioning. You've positioned the objection before it has even come up. What sort of things would stop them from moving forward? Just ask yourself that question. Whatever you have in mind, whether it's a promotion, whether it's working with a new customer, you got to make sure that what sort of objections would they come up with? Why would they not hire you? Why would they not promote you? Why would they not buy from you? Think of all the things that would be there. Then you need to make sure that in your MAFIA offer, you're handling that before they even think about it. For example, if it was about price and they're thinking, oh, you know, this person's going to cost me a lot of money and I'm going to take them on, I'm going to start paying them 100K a year, they're on 50K currently, they need to go to 100K. That's a big fucking jump. But if you think about it, it's 2 people. So can you be more effective than 2 people is the question. So in your MAFIA offer, you need to say, hey, look, I'm going to be as effective as 3 people, 3 employees that you would take on in this business. I'm going to be as effective as 3 people. I'm going to show you the steps of doing that straight away by just focusing on the high value tasks. Here's a few examples of what you could do. Example 1, performance-based pay. What that means is that if you're negotiating with a customer, then you say, hey, look, this is the price of the good or the service. It could be $1 million or whatever. How about we start to move forward on 50% now and then 50% later. If you don't get it in 6 months, I'll give you the 50% back. You just pay for the time that I've done and you don't pay any of the profitability for it. Yeah, you just pay for the resources. So you can start to negotiate that if you don't perform within a certain period of time, there's something in your win-win agreement that says that you get your money back, or I work for free until we make that money. The second one could be a success guarantee. So if you don't get the results that we've said, then I'll work free for 3 months for free of charge. If you don't get the results that we get, then I will split the difference and for the last 6 months of working with you, and I will give you the difference back. So all you need to do then is, if you are selling something, is just make sure that you pocket the difference back so you can pay them out if they do. And most likely you're always going to over deliver. The idea of these MAFIA offers, by the way, is that they don't get it yet of how much of a hard-working bastard you are. They don't get that yet. Only you know that. They haven't seen that yet. So in the MAFIA offer, they're never really going to claim it back because you are a hard-working bastard. They don't understand the amount of effort you're going to put in. They might just think so far, hey, look, this is just a good salesperson. This is just all talk, talk, talk. You need to then go and prove your talk. Walk the talk, and then you'll all start to deliver on it. And even if you get marginally there and you have to do some free stuff for a while, you've then proven them. If they're a hardworking person, they will see another hardworking person and respect that as well. The place that you want to produce this MAFIA offer, by the way, is right at the end. So it's almost like they're thinking about it, and then you go bang, and you slap it on the table in front of them. There's your fucking MAFIA offer. And then they go, whoa, well, I was thinking about it already. And then you've just gone that next level. Finally, just another example is that you can also have case studies incentives. So you could then say to them, look, we haven't done this before. Say you're starting out as a new consultant. If you watch the video series so far, show you how to get your first customer. You say, look, I haven't done this before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it you as a discounted rate. But what I would put in that win-win agreement at the end is that when we achieve the goal that you said you're going to achieve, you pay me more, or you give me a fantastic case study and refer me on to 2 other people. We have it quite a lot in a lot of my companies that they'll say, hey, look, can I have a discount on something? And a lot of the time it's just people trying it on. Whenever it comes to discounting, you just need to remember, what is a fair fee? So if someone tries to discount you significantly, just think, what is a fair fee? You've come up with that price because it's fair. They're trying to knock you down. The only difference is they don't know what fair looks like for you because they don't see all the hard work you put in. But in their mind, it's fair for them. So coming up with something in the middle, when you're talking a bit more negotiation now, but you can still use it as MAFIA offers as well, is to then go, hey, look, I'll do this and give you the discount that you want, but you need to refer me to great people. You need to give me such a fantastic case study at the end because I'm going to do a brilliant job for you anyway. You will want to. And I want 2 names off you, customers just like you, because I love working with more people like you. We're talking about referrals now, aren't we? There's a video on that on YouTube as well. Just go and search for my channel and you'll see that video. The next step that you'll start to figure out is that you can have the logical template as much as you want. You also need to be a good negotiator. You also need to be able to learn how to close the deal like a pro. So if you look at the steps, the next step is, how do you negotiate and close like a pro? Even when your MAFIA offer is on the table, you know exactly what to say, what to do, how to be, how to think, so that they know that you are the person that can ultimately get them towards their dreams and their goals. If you want to learn how to do that, go and check out this next YouTube video. The link is right here. Go and check it out.